Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ and Sons and our Formula One series with Champ and Sons Racing as we are continuing in this season and we are here in Russia for the Russian Grand Prix, and this is set up to be a hell of a race for our team with an amazing track in front of us. And the day is pretty good weather too, so we should have smooth racing. Um, but on this track, I like the way this thing works out for us. We've seen what our new power package can do on the straightaways. And so having these turns with the slight elevation changes, and it definitely works out to our advantage. We will have to watch out for those sharp turns as they come around to the ending of the race track, just for the simple fact that the way we race is we like to send the car hard into the turns to squeeze out other drivers out of their position. That doesn't always work out well for us. It's seen us end up in the pits multiple times with wing damage, and we've even wrecked our car before, taking us out of the race completely. So, this one, it does present some challenges, but overall is very well fit to our car and driving style for the most part. Now, taking a look at the grid, we'll be following behind Max Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo. They will lead us off. Then we have Kimi Räikkönen, Lewis Hamilton there in fourth, and then we did qualify fifth, right in front of Valtteri Bottas. So we're going to be surrounded with a lot of good talent. Some of the usual suspects outside of Räikkönen, who's in the front. Normally, Ricardo's also generally further back, but this time he was able to squeeze into the second spot as Verstappen did take the pole position. Now we are going to go ahead and get this race started as we get a good jump off the line and we try to send it in. It's a sweeping turn here to start out. We try to get in there on Raikkonen. Just we're unable to do it. And Hamilton tries to push us out of the zone, but he will actually squeeze in. And we do give him a little tappy on the bumper. Now the wing damage, it was pretty slight. It wasn't anything too hectic. It didn't really cause much stability problems. So we do kind of just deal with that here for this first little go around. And that's kind of something that we may see come into play later, especially as we get into our pit stops a little bit later on here in the race. Now, coming up, we do maintain the fifth position here on this first lap, getting through these first set of turns, and as you can see, Hamilton kind of starts breaking away from us a little bit. But we know, I think, we still have a good car that's able to make some moves pretty early on. We did see that as we got the jump off that line there. Maintaining the fifth position, trying to just get some space between us and Bottas is going to be the main thing. I think we'll be able to close it in on Hamilton on turns like that as we come to it. And we hit these a little bit more sweeping turns. Just got to hit them. Just got to be smarter about it than what we were right there. Now cutting across that a little bit too much. Kind of be grateful we did not get a warning. But still, I think we can push this car to its limits and have a pretty good day here on the track as we do maintain our number 5 spot through that first lap. But we're right behind that main pack. Hamilton is less than half a second in front of us. And Raikkonen, we're gaining on him, it seems like almost every lap. He makes some little breaks every now and then. But for the most part, we have it pretty well in our sights. And the more Hamilton and Raikkonen can battle, the better it is for us. It'll allow us to gain those spots on them to keep that speed going and try to squeeze in. Just got to be careful with it. With having that little damage right there, we just need to be sure to continue to push it on through. Now, coming around these turns, you can see we are right on Hamilton's tail. And the front wing damage is really having no impact to us right now. So I hate to say I can't really blame it on that. They are just out driving us on these first couple laps. So we'll have to get used to the track at race speeds. That is going to be a big factor outside of qualifying. However, as I say, we're managing to be right where we qualified at. Now, Bottas is hanging tight on our hips. He's not really letting loose too much. So we are maintaining. That's about as good as you can expect. We haven't made any additional upgrades to the car. We do have some things being developed right now as we speak, as far as the aero package goes, our downforce. The power unit, we've already made some upgrades, so we're going to get some more funds in the bank before we make any other upgrades after that. Now, Hamilton did squeeze around Raikkonen, and I think we'll probably have a little bit better luck getting past Raikkonen as we do engage that DRS. And we're going to send it down, but that's going to be a risky maneuver for us. Raikkonen can easily cut us off and send us into a wall, and so that's a big risk, and we have to time out this braking real carefully because we don't want to lose any spots to them or any seconds as they come out of the turn, but we sure as hell don't want to run into them again. Now, getting around the sweep and turn, I think we're pretty well set up to take on Raikkonen. As we do send it hard into that one, we have to swing it out wide, and coming back in, Raikkonen blocks us and basically kind of bumps us on the side there. We get the warning for it, and to be on all fairness, I guess that one should be kind of on us. Yeah, we took it a little too hard, but he also should have got out of my way. You know what I mean? So we do take over the 4th spot in this. We have moved up. This is the 3rd lap before we finally moved up officially, taking over spot number 4. Now, we are less than a second behind Hamilton, and this is what I mean by the power package. We are gaining on him very consistently. So the more we get this car developed, this season we're not in a position to really challenge for the Drivers' Championship or even, the Car Championship, or the team, I guess. But I think next season with the proper upgrades made, we will be able to actually compete. And that's what it's going to take, is these proper upgrades. Spend the money at the right time, and you'll be able to, take over some wins. We'll claim some victories, get us a lot more money, make more adjustments, and that's really how Formula One kind of works, essentially, right? The more money you make, the more you have to invest in the car. The more you invest in the car, the more you win. And look at that right there, us claiming the fastest lap of the race. That was our 3rd one, and that's why we gained over Raikkonen. And you can tell he's actually already dropped off drastically. And I think he may be out of the race at this point, as we have separated between us and Bottas, who's now in the 5th spot, and Gasly's behind him in 6th, as we lead both of them by well over 2 seconds as we send it in on Hamilton. Now we hold this one a little bit better, but Hamilton unwavering in his battle for that 3rd position, and he will actually basically force us to bump him trying to get back on the track after that turn. And looking at it, there wasn't a whole lot of damage. Like I say, the front wing is the only thing that we had, but no real impact to us at this point because it was pretty minor. As we do get in front of Hamilton, now we're trailing behind Ricciardo and Verstappen here as we get close to the end of this 4th lap of this race. Still leading Hamilton, as our time with him is actually exceeding at about every other turn. Looks like we're gaining close to a 1/10 a second, maybe a little less. So the way this race is working out right now, as we come about halfway through to the 4th lap, Max Verstappen does have quite a lead, a little over 2 seconds on us, as Daniel Ricciardo is in P2. We have taken over P3, and we are followed by the Mercedes team of Hamilton and Bottas in 4 and 5 respectively. Now coming up here to lap 11, we do decide to dump ourselves into the pit. And this is going to be a big stop. We have chosen to go with only 1 stop in this race. It's 27 laps. So if we can get this one out, put some hard tires on, we should be able to finish up on those and actually kind of help us out. We should have a big enough lead on a lot of the cars behind us. I don't think we're going to drop all that many seconds. And here we come out of the pit, and let's see where we are going to be at as we continue to drop on the leaderboard. We're in 6th, 7th position right now. Looks like we're going to be right behind Sergio Perez. He's driving for McLaren. He's going to be in the 7th. No, that's not McLaren. I forgot which race team that is, to be honest with you. But they are in the 6th place. We're in 7th. Hamilton came out as he is in 5th. Now, I want to be patient because I know Perez is going to have to pit, but he's got the loose tires. We've got the hard tires on now. So we should be able to grip those turns coming in a little bit better as we do move smoothly right past him here, as that sends us into P6, now chasing Hamilton and Lando Norris that are basically the two directly in front of us here on the 12th lap of this 27-lap race. Now coming in, our speed is major. This tire change, and one of the things that also slowed us down, I will say, was the front wing damage. We did replace that. And I'm not going to lie, I can actually feel a little bit of difference in driving this car right now with a brand new undamaged front wing on there. I just need to be sure to keep it that way. Let's play it safe. We have really our positioning right now. A lot of these cars still have to come into the pits, and so we'll have our chances to make up some moves as we come here in the next couple laps. I truly think that should be our time to really move up. Now Hamilton is right there in our sights. He's always been fighting with us. Every race we have the lead. He's normally our main competition. And right now, looking at some guys going into the pits, Charles Leclerc has gone in. Lando Norris went in. Valtteri Bottas is in. And so we're just moving up that board as we go. And we got to beat Bottas out onto the track as he almost comes out, still in front of us, but we're able to maintain the third position here. Now, Max Verstappen, he did have a beautiful pit stop, got in quick, and he gets out of the pits with a 4-second lead over us. And that's going to be something that's going to be hard to cut down if we're even able to. Now, just maintaining behind Lewis Hamilton is hard enough, but we do keep our grip and we do keep making up time. We are just now 3.3 seconds behind, and that is getting closer and closer with each turn. As we hit these, continue to hit them in the green. That has been the biggest thing here in these later laps as we reach this halfway mark. Hitting these turns all green, being used to the track at these speeds and pushing the car this harshly, it's really been able to pay off for us as we've been able to make up the space. Now we've enacted that DRS, and we're going to take our shot on the inside against Hamilton. He tries to squeeze us out, but we're able to hit that turn just a little bit harder as we actually edge him for the second spot, and Hamilton is going to have to drop back. He had to hit those brakes hard right there as we take over P2, and Hamilton will be stuck there in P3 as we come down to the end of the 13th lap, just about 2.5 seconds behind Mr. Max Verstappen. And this is going to be a hell of a race to the finish. I can feel it. We claim the fastest lap, knocking off time from our previous lap as we did that one in 1 minute and 39 seconds. As we are now truly hauling, reaching up almost 200 miles an hour on that straightaway. So here we come down into the final couple laps. We did on a good advanced time. We have maintained our second place. We're now less than a second behind Verstappen. We did advance our lead on Bottas and Hamilton now well to a little bit over 6 seconds for Bottas. Hamilton has had some car problems, and he's actually slipped all the way back into 4th place behind everybody. Just a big enough gap for him to maintain there. Now Verstappen, his car is amazing. He's a hell of a driver. You got to give the man credit where credit is due. Every time we start to get within about that half-second mark, he's able to push that back gap every time coming off those little series of hard S turns. He pushes that and actually extends itself back out to just over a second. And that's the problem. Now we're coming into some lap traffic. So this should give us a chance. If they can hold him off just a little bit, block him just enough. And in F1, that's really not how things are done. They are supposed to get out of the way. But if something can occur, they hit on a turn. And that's actually our teammate there in last place. So if our teammate can do the teammatey thing and just block Verstappen off just for long enough, it allows us to gain some pace on him. We may be able to actually make a pass here in the final lap or two for first, but he does a proper thing. Damn you, Correa. As he moves out of the way and allows Verstappen past him, and that's going to kind of let him loose as we're coming into these final couple laps, and he barely gets out of my way. I almost end up hitting him. I had to hit the brakes hard on that one. As we are now lap 26 out of 27, and we are pushing it to the end. Verstappen has advanced that lead out to just over 1.5 seconds now, thanks to my teammate blocking me more than he blocked him, for God's sake. Absolutely gosh dang ridiculous, I tell you what. And our tire wear, do have to be careful about that. You notice all our tires are in about the 30 percentile. I don't think they're going to blow, but the grip is starting to go a little bit. Now, our engine has been lit up in yellow, and that's, better than the red we've seen before, but with all new kind of components, I'm not sure why we're in yellow. We are kind of pushing it, but at the same time, taking it just slightly easier than we have actually in even some other races when our engine was not in as good a shape. But it looks like we may be getting ready for a second place finish. Verstappen is just too gosh dang good on this track, and he may be able to claim Russia here in this one. So my main thing, Bottas is 4 seconds behind us now, closing that gap by 2 seconds from the last lap. So I need to just continue to drive smart. Don't do anything stupid and cause myself to wreck out. Essentially, second place is mine to lose right now. And I've been in that position before. We were there in Monaco, and what happened? We wrecked out of the race rather quickly. So got to be careful as we come to these final couple turns of the lap number 26 and get ready to start the final lap as we will make one final push to chase down Verstappen. As here we go, lap 27 of 27. This has been an exhausting race. We are pushing our car to the limit now, hitting all these turns in green zone as we will let this thing loose. And here we go, as we're coming down to about a second difference between us, trying to prevent him from extending that gap. There it is, less than 1 second. He's at 0.9 seconds ahead, and we are really pushing this thing, and got to hit these turns proper and come out of them with the right amount of force. And now he's only 0.7 seconds ahead. 0.6, this gap is close enough. We may be ready to make our move here in a minute. And if we can hit it in that turn, that little wobble right there, our tires got slightly loose on that one, so we had to let off a second. And he extends it back out. But here we come closing it as we nailed that little series. And look at that, but Verstappen still extends it. It seems like almost every turn we come into, he is coming out of them well ahead of us, and so that gives him that little extra push. But we enable the DRS, the last opportunity we'll get, as we get down to 0.4 seconds ahead. He's into the 0.3. Got to send it in on one of these turns, and that's not going to do it. He's going to block us off, and we're still hot on his trail. Last couple, this will be our only chance. If we can't get him in one of these final about 4 or 5 turns, that's it. He may have just blocked us off totally. So we got one more set. If this next turn doesn't give it to us, we're not going to hit it. We try to take the inside. He cuts us off. Max Verstappen cut us off. Good driving. Well done, sir, as he will win. Now, we will take second place. And in all reality, starting out 5th, I'll take second. This is a podium finish. Now, this will be, about a third podium, I think? Our third or fourth podium of the season. That is well above what, I think some people have projected for us. But great team effort and a great car has allowed us to perform in such a highly effective manner. And I'm so proud of our team and what they were able to accomplish today. But Red Bull Racing, Aston Martin, Max Verstappen, you did what you needed to do. Got to give you credit on that one. So we will share the podium with him in second. Valtteri Bottas did claim third in this one. Tyler Hamilton without a podium finish. I'll be damned. Very rarely will you ever see something like that in Formula One in real life. I'll say that much at least. So good teamwork, good team finish, second place here in Sochi in Russia around the former Olympic Park. So let's see, what does the media want to ask us today? You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy? Ooh, who do we give credit for? Foot to the floor. The power unit can take it. The aero packaging is fantastic. We'll give them some credit. They don't ever really get mentioned all that much. You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled. This is one of those standard team answers. I couldn't do it without a great team behind me. It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it? Yeah. None of us wants to be the person to back down. Shit happens. That's the way it works. That's how things go. And so with that will complete this race. And that does remind me that let y'all know, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you have not already. And definitely give us a thumbs up if you did like today's video and you do enjoy Formula One racing, because that really does help out the channel. And we greatly appreciate everything that y'all do for us here at Champ and Sons. And stay tuned, hit that little notification icon for all Champ and Sons content uploads. And we will go ahead and start getting moving forward to the next race. I'm not sure if we'll play that one out or sim it. We'll see how that goes. But either way, I will see y'all in the next episode, everybody. So stay safe, and well, you know how it goes by now. Later, y'all.